Oh, wow.
What?
We're going live on
I
YouTube.
wanted to go live on our Facebook page. It seems that, oh, hang on. What?
Going live.
We are live on my YouTube channel.
Cool.
So it seems to be a Facebook issue. It keeps wanting me to push me into Workplace by Facebook, and that's not what I checked. So I'm not sure if it's a Facebook issue. So I wonder if I can pull the live stream. Let's see if I can make this work. Oh, Dan's here. Let me admit him. Here he comes.
I'm getting calls left and right. People can't get in.
I can't answer that.
I posted the link again on the BRN Facebook page just a minute ago.
Yeah, no, they were on before you did that.
Are you using the
I'm telling
password?
Everyone to go to the website.
Well, the password doesn't do any good if they don't have the Zoom
Yeah, you need.
Gotta
Yeah,
have
they have
the
to click
Zoom
on that link.
link. Yeah.
Let me get
I
it
don't
here.
see
and
that.
I just looked at the image on Facebook. I'm like this. Hey, Dan.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Okay, I got Rick Alfano saying he can't get in. Hold on,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Phil Vargas is also trying to get in.
I'm looking up the link to post it.
This is what you do, trying to get people.
Because they don't know the Zoom number. They just have to put the Zoom number up there.
Yes, they
Let me
do.
Well, there was nothing different than like 2 weeks ago, right? You put this link out and accept the password.
Except the password. That was,
Yeah,
I
everybody
couldn't
had a lot.
I couldn't
Everybody got on
find the-
easily.
I couldn't find the link on this week's post. I had to go
I
back
put
and
it
find.
in, it was in the discussion section, and some of the discussion sections seem to have disappeared. So I reposted it this morning, and I posted it a couple times. I think Virginia has posted it too.
I'm posting it yet
Hopefully it helps.
again.
I just threw it up again too.
Okay. Well, good. They have multiple sources.
Right.
Well, I know Blake's not going to be on the line today. He's busy.
He's got
A deal he's working on. Yeah, mortgage deal.
Oh, I thought he was life insurance for him. It was life insurance.
And
I just got like 15 emails that nobody can get on.
Oh, okay.
Dan, you have the link though, right?
It's on Facebook. I'm telling them they'll at Facebook.
why don't you
BRN.
right click on the link and copy it into an email that you
Yeah,
sent to
I'm
them?
wondering if some people think that, because I originally thought that BRN online was the code, when that's the password. So I
That's
think
the
they can have
password.
link.
Correct. Dan, I'm sending you the full link. Give me 1 second here.
It's in the silver.
Yeah, I have to go and do a MailChimp and start all over again. In
Oh,
order
no,
to
you
send it to
don't.
everyone.
The millenniums of the group. I'll figure it out. Dan, I like your St. Louis hat. St. Louis Cardinals are
Thank
pretty.
you.
Go team.
It's
My
my
husband
team.
coached.
My husband coached the St. Louis Cardinal girls softball for 4 years to championship every year in a row, 4 years in a row.
That's good.
FYI.
It's the, now we'll
What?
never know if it's the logo or the talent of the coach.
And then he plated quarters for each of the girls in gold. That's what he does for a living. He's a plater, lecture finishing.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
it's
I
kind
got
of,
more people trying to get on. Hold on.
I have posted it everywhere possible.
right.
Mary is joining us.
There's Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Was Steve gonna be
You
on?
sent all of your people the password, correct?
I absolutely
Oh, here we go.
posted the password publicly, so let's
Hey,
see what
Doug.
happens. But everyone has to go into a, hey Doug, a meeting room first for me to let them in.
I just took your training today, Virginia.
How did I do?
Good. It was the basics. I signed up for the other class in 2 days, the advanced.
Excellent. Now, the advanced goes into way more detail. So
Well, I hope I'm ready for it when I get there.
you'll be fine. Is the sun shining too brightly in your house? Oh, wait. The sun never goes down on cool people. Is that what you're telling us? You've been drinking already, I can tell.
Are you just playing, Paige, or do you know American Sign Language?
I do not know enough American Sign Language, but I'm very interested in learning. And my very, very, very best friend since kindergarten, and now we're over 50. Her brother is deaf, and we always try to, sign and just tell, like, I don't know a lot, but I tell you what, every time Pritzker's on, all I do is stare at the interpreter. I can hardly even understand or listen to what he's saying. And I'm just trying to remember the signs. I think it's so cool to be able to,
That's a good way to learn a foreign language.
Yes, and I'm good at that too. It's because my Mercury is in Leo. My planet Mercury is in the sun sign Leo, and I've been studying a lot about that while we've had some downtime. And come to figure, I have 6 planets in my 8th house, which is the 8th house is like death and rebirth and transformation, and ruled
You
by
have
Scorpio.
way too much time on your hands.
I know. I'm trying to understand who I am in this. I don't know what's going on. I'm losing my identity, you guys.
Oh, you're getting a new one or the other.
Yeah.
I have
11 people.
here.
11?
Just, you should be able to see all 11 of us. And there's no one in the waiting room.
I've only got my cell phone on. It shows 4 people at a time.
Yeah,
There's 11 of us.
I can only see whoever's talking.
Then you have to change your view. Change it to gallery view and you can see everyone.
I get chat, meeting settings, minimize meeting, disconnect audio.
In the upper right-hand corner, are you on a PC?
Yeah. It's no, it's
You
this is a notepad.
Then I don't know where it is, but you have to find where it says grid view, speaker
Got
view.
it. Bam. I'm with all y'all. I can see. Oh my God. All right. Andrew with his tropical. Oh, nice.
That's where I want to be right now. We'll just pretend.
Thank you.
Excellent background, Andrew.
What's up?
Excellent background.
Like that one too.
Florida is supposed to be going 3 weeks from now, but who's complaining and disappointed?
I take it you canceled.
Big time, yeah.
These are on my.
But October will be here soon, right? I rescheduled.
And the beach is my happy place. I can't wait to get there as soon as everything reopens a little bit.
I'm still hanging on. I got a beach trip coming up in July. I haven't canceled that one yet.
Michigan, where I
talking
usually
to-
go to the beach, is even more closed down than Illinois.
Well, this one is in Ocean City Beach, Maryland, so I don't have to try getting in and out of the country. So that might.
I
make
just
it-
can't see. I cannot see. I can't see Dan.
Dan
Yeah,
is
I'm emailing somebody.
not
that can't-
showing you himself.
Oh, nice, Dan.
I'm emailing someone.
It looks like Amanda
Amanda
just joined.
Amanda has joined, yep.
Yes. I invited Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. No, Steve said he had another conflict, a council meeting or something, or a school district meeting. And he had to
could be.
attend.
Okay.
Hi, Paige.
I hate this. You guys, I don't even shop anymore because I can't stand wearing it.
So when I was in Scottsdale 4 years ago, we went on this trip in the desert in these buggies that had all separate wheels that moved, and they gave us this bandana to put up over our head to cover our face. And I posted that as my picture on Facebook, and everyone said, you have to take that down. So I went back and reposted it just recently because who knew it was going to be in style?
Yeah.
And it's free.
Right.
And I go out and I went and found it, so now I can use it to go to the store.
Good thing. You don't want to give your computer a virus, so better
I do
wear it
not.
while you're in it.
Always a bad thing. So I have found myself extremely busy these 2 weeks and next week, doing a lot of training and hand holding and getting. I partnered with a couple nonprofits who pushed me out to their networks, which was great. So I got to meet new people virtually as opposed to in person. So I'm trying to keep relevant.
That's what I need to do.
Keep relevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I find it difficult.
I'm home with my wife. All I'm trying to do is stay out of trouble.
That's
Maybe
relevant, Dan.
Relevant.
Maybe you should take me with you, Virginia.
What?
Take me with you on your virtual meetings.
Okay.
There's another post from Phil. He's having trouble getting on.
Is
It
it not
sounds like
taking
he's
you to
giving
the
up.
waiting room and asking him for the password?
I don't know. He's posting on Facebook.
How come
If
we
I could
couldn't
send him a message.
earlier?
I can only see
Sorry,
9.
what?
Why could we not put out the link earlier?
We did put out the link earlier. Mary Kay posted it in the invite.
I put
Yeah,
it
she
in the
was-
discussion section of the invite.
And apparently it disappeared or something.
Yeah, but it was there. I didn't know it had disappeared. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, I have one other person that's gonna join. She was looking for the password.
Okay.
If she has the link, yeah, the password's easy.
Yeah, I've been sending people the link, texting it, and if you click on it, it goes right to the page, and then you just put the password in. So
Right.
I don't know, what, maybe is there a way that we could email that and not put the password out? And
Well,
Virginia-
Dan had that. Dan emailed the original link and then Dan emailed the password. Did you not?
I did not email the original link. I didn't have it.
It disappeared.
oh, okay.
It wasn't there
Okay.
this morning.
I don't know, what, maybe is there a way that we could email that and not put the password out?
Right.
Yeah, when we go through our company, we put the link and the password out early. I mean, a couple days early. There's usually no problem with it.
All I know is I
Link
had
out.
11 Zoom calls yesterday between my kids' school, work, and then I taught a Zoom karate class, which is very interesting
Oh
yesterday.
my God.
So when you teach the Zoom karate class as the host, do you have all the little kids up there so you can see what they're doing?
Yeah. So I teach with one of our master instructors, so we could split it into those rooms.
Yeah.
I guess
the
you could split
breakout
up.
room.
So I'm working with more of the beginner level, and then he's dealing with the advanced. And yeah, it worked out. The only thing you have to do is like if I'm telling him to punch right, I have to like use my left arm, so it mirrors
So-
that.
I understand.
Yeah,
it's reversed.
I figured that out. I was like, wait a minute, why aren't you punching like left?
I tried cutting my bangs
So-
on.
Yeah, I was all
Fine.
uniformed up. I mean, if you look, what? Oh yeah,
It's
see, it's
not-
opposite. Yeah, yeah. If you were looking at my living room last night, I was like in a karate uniform, punching by myself. Probably
Oh,
that's
you
what it
should-
looked
you
like
should
to everyone.
test it
But
Because in the bottom, when you do your settings, right where you do your virtual, you can
Yeah.
tell it to flip it.
oh, nice. Okay.
Thank you.
But I would test it to see if when you flip it, it does what you wanted. Because I flipped it earlier and showed Paige and Mary Kay and Anna backdrop, but it still didn't flip the backdrop. So you
Oh,
need
the
to
clock.
check. The clock
the
was
clock.
still backwards. Yeah.
Okay, Phil might be coming. I messaged him the password.
Oh, look at that.
Tony is here. Is
Oh,
that
good.
work? When you raise your right hand, you see your right hand now?
Hello.
Yep, that's your
Yeah.
right hand. Yep.
Yeah, it's mirrored.
Oh, there's Tony.
That's
left.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We can't really see. All we see is, I think, the top of your head.
Yeah,
There
tilt
you
your
go.
camera
So you
down.
got to close your blind behind you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't see you at all because you have light behind you.
Yeah, you got to close your blind or move your.
Or a drape.
Okay. Okay.
How are
I
we
did
doing
that
with the
touch-up
people you're
mode.
bringing in?
Yeah,
Dave?
I got a little foundation.
Hi, Tony.
Hi,
We can see you now.
it's good to be seen.
These days, yes.
Yes.
It's good.
Only way it works.
That's right.
I don't see Phil yet. How about some of the people you're trying to get on, Dan? How we doing?
I don't know. I have no idea. I've sent out the directions and, the people were having trouble. I'm on so many Zoom calls lately that it's getting to be second nature, But for some people, they're not doing Zoom, so they're not familiar with it.
So I invited everyone to put their business information into the chat, which we can share later.
Oh, I'm not on that. On the Facebook page, you mean?
No,
Oh,
right
you-
here in the chat. If you click chat,
Oh, okay.
it's
I'll
gonna
do it.
pop up.
Mhm.
Hey, Phil.
Hello.
Oh, we got you.
Seems like
So
this
is everyone
call is
trying to get in
learning
still, or
curve for
is-
a lot of us.
We still have a few people trying to get in,
Okay.
but we can't see you.
I would hope not, since you're in my pocket.
Oh, I don't think we want to see then. Just us and the dust bunnies in there, right?
Right.
We're glad you could make it today. How have you been?
Good. Been a little crazy.
It's crazy
Some of
to
us
be
are going
business.
crazy, some of us are not.
I mean, there's just so much stuff, and unfortunately, most of it's not short-term productive. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe clients will come out of it.
Maybe.
Hopefully, they're still in business when this is all over.
Hopefully.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
I have some very bad feelings about our state. I have
Our
a feeling that I think we'll be one of the last ones taken off of lockdown.
Do you think they're going to extend it past April 3rd, the end of April?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt. I think our state's going to go till July.
Oh, Pat just jumped in.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Hey, Pat.
Hello, you made it.
Hi, Pat. She's muted.
You have to unmute yourself. Bottom left-hand. There you go.
So do we know if we're waiting for anybody else? Have you heard any more, Dan, from any of your folks?
No,
Okay,
I imagine those that couldn't get on just gave up, and those that got on are on.
okay.
And the link is everywhere now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if people come on, we'll welcome them and make sure they
Well.
give you an intro.
And hopefully they have the password, because that's the other thing that people are missing, but that we have to send privately. We can't post
No,
that.
I literally posted it all on
Oh,
our,
cool.
so, but I'm monitoring who comes in, so.
Okay.
Why can't you post it?
Because it's a security breach. Then anyone who's searching the web for Zoom meetings with passwords could come in. That's where Zoom bombing comes in.
I got it.
And we don't want to jeopardize your being able to use Zoom.
That's how I
Zoom
found this
bombing.
group.
Oh,
Okay, well,
How I
let's kind
found
of
this
get
group.
started.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll follow the same format we did last time. We'll each take a turn and do our 1-minute introduction of who we are, what we do. Put your contact information in the chat box, same as if it were sharing your business card. And so once everybody has an opportunity to do their introduction, we got a little program today. Chris Gensler is going to give us some information about our interesting times from a financial perspective. And then we'll close with announcements, upcoming events, exciting things going on, whatever people have to say as we close. We'll shoot for around 1:15, no later than 1:30. Okay? So what we'll do is, Virginia, if you'll mute us all, and then she'll unmute you when it's your turn. And I'm just going down the participants list.
They have been muted, except for me. Oh, I muted Anna.
I'm
I'm
okay,
so
thanks.
sorry.
That's okay. Andy didn't know he was up. So let's start with Andy.
Okay, hang on. Here we go. Okay, Andy, you're
Hey,
up.
all right, everyone. Andrew Trippi. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones. I help clients achieve long-term financial goals. Obviously, this is a very trying time for everyone, anyone investing, anyone working, I mean, no one can escape this, and we're all in it together. The biggest thing is if you have a long-term goal that you've set aside, I would strongly encourage you, whether you're working independently, working with an advisor, stick to your long-term goal, and work with that advisor. If you don't have an advisor, work with someone that you can trust to hold each other accountable to that long-term goal. That's, it's really easy to pull out or change course, but I'm confident, I'm sure we'll learn more today, that things will go back up, and if you have good quality investments and a good path, you'll be okay.
Thanks, Andy.
Hang on, give me a moment. Okay.
Okay, we'll go to Bill.
Oh, didn't I? Hang on. Letting someone else in. There you go, Bill.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. Bill Hassett, .org Services. I consult with nonprofit organizations on viability, strategy, board matters, and revenue strength. Most of the nonprofits over the last week or so have been engaged in applying for the PPP award. I've not heard that anyone's actually gotten funded on it yet, but depending on the strength of the relationship with the bank, they either have an easier or more difficult path. We're advising nonprofits that are not specifically social service, where it's pretty obvious how they connect to people in need, that they still need to stay in front of their donor audience. If they're arts and culture or a museum or something like that, they can't just fall off the radar screen and wait for better times. They have to find ways to engage with their communities. Better times ahead, all I can say. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, let's go to Chris Gensler.
Hi, everybody. Chris Gensler, Forum Financial. I do wealth management, and of course, it's been trying times for a lot of people with their money. People being extremely, kind of just emotional about what's going on there. So one of the things that I've tried to do is contact personally, not just use emails or text with clients, is just go to the phone and go the old-fashioned way of trying to connect with people. And really interesting is I've been able to talk to a lot of people who I've never really had a chance to have conversations with. So that's been really good part of that. And what I'll do is just make sure that their health is okay, that they're doing fine, and talk a little bit about cash flow, their personal situation. Has it changed? You lose your job, all those things, and then figure out where we go from there with their investment, the part of it. So yeah, it has been very challenging here. Obviously, the markets have come back pretty healthy from the low point. Probably about a month ago was one of the worst times we've had in just emotionally, with shelves empty, things like that. So it was kind of a trying time. Things have settled down a little bit. And now we're more into doing some longer term planning with some clients. So I think, we'll eventually come out of this.
Thanks,
and
Chris.
I'll be back in a minute to talk about some of the CARE Act and the things that are going on with that.
Good, thank you. Okay, Dan Johnson.
Hi, I'm Dan Johnson. I'm with Legal Shield on our identity theft service program. We have a new program that's about to start with that. That is where they will monitor and notify you on any third-party activity that's going on. In other words, if one company sells your information to another, they will be monitoring that. We don't have a release date for that yet, but it's coming soon. If you are an existing customer or future, you will be eligible for this program.
Great. Thanks, Dan.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Doug Davies.
Oh, I'm unmuted by the host. Business has been interesting. We've had quite a few contacts from people wanting to find out about how the insurance has changed. We've been working pretty virtually for a while. We've gotten our technology to that point, so we've been reached out by quite a few people that need health insurance. We've been talking to a lot of people about cyber insurance coverages, and it seems like things change so fast. We've been very concerned about how business interruption coverage has been done. So we've been talking to a lot of our clients with that, but it's been as busy as I've ever been. So it's hasn't been bad for business. It's just been, somewhat uncomfortable for our customers. We're trying to keep them calm and answer their questions.
Great. Thanks again. Okay, let's move on to Mary Kay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Kay Nelson with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Girlfriends don't let girlfriends wrinkle. It's been an interesting time in my business too. I'm switching to face-to-face contact, to doing a lot more virtual visits with people and a lot of online stuff. Anyone who's got some time and wants something to play with, I'll put the link on the Business Network Facebook page soon. But Mary Kay has an app called the Mirror Me app that can be really fun to play with. You upload your picture to it and you can play with all the different colors and other things that we have available. So if you've got some time and you're looking for something to do, that can be a lot of fun. And then of course, if you have any questions, my website will have a link there, so you can go there to get any answers you want, or you can contact me. I can always answer questions too. So I'm Mary Kay with Mary Kay.
Cool. Thanks, Mary Kay. Okay, Paige. Hello, Paige.
I keep trying to there she is. Yep.
Hi there, guys. Hi, Virginia.
Hi, Paige.
It's Venn Staffing by Paige. I'm the owner of a business that I believe will still come back from this, parties and all kinds of engagements or get-togethers with more than 10. Sometimes I do parties fewer than 10 in the past. That's not a problem, but I'm hanging in there, and my 1099s are all just waiting for work, just like I am. And it's tough, but it's going to happen. And I think it's going to happen maybe towards the end of summer or even early fall. And I provide the bartenders and the servers for your party. So just know that we can get the job done so that you do feel like you can sit back and enjoy your guests and your friends and family from out of town, perhaps. So it's still a business. And I don't mean to chuckle about it. It's a nervous laugh because I'm sick of this corona and staying home, and it's really getting to me, and I'm sorry. I should just let it go. That's about it.
Okay. Thanks, Paige. Hang in there. Okay, Patricia. Glad you're on.
Finally got on, and my business is very unique. It's about customized nutrition. I represent a company called Euphoria Science, and through your DNA, you can have customized nutrition. This time right now, because the immune systems are so important, people are contacting me, and it's just amazing. I've been on the nutrition over a year. I've had absolutely no issues. I mean, I really feel very grateful that I have something like this to offer people. So I do have kits right now. They're like $49 kits. I can send, what I've been doing is sending them to people, or they can go directly to my site. And this is all about the 18 actionable health SNPs. These are the heavy hitters that help all of us keep well. So anyone has any interest, I'd be glad to talk with you, or just, any questions. Thank you all, and stay well.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for helping us do that. Okay, let's go to Rick. Welcome.
I'm trying to unmute Rick, and it's not letting me.
How's that?
There we go. Sorry.
We got you.
Okay. Boy, it's like it shouldn't have been like the first time I've done this, but you're still kind of learning each time you do this. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Dan, as well, for helping me get on. I was having a hard time getting on through Facebook, so I'm late. So sorry about that.
Okay, glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. I'm Rick Galfano with our Galfano Promotional Branding. The promotional products business has been, it was a great first quarter until those last 2 weeks of March, like we can all relate. And it just, a lot of things stopped at that point. But now it's become a little bit more of a pivot. What virtual meetings, people are looking at not necessarily giving away items since there aren't a lot of events happening, but signage and retractable banners like the one I have behind me. Ways that you can kind of market yourself doing virtual meetings, since that looks like we're going to be doing that for the next few months. So if anybody needs any assistance or ideas when it comes to promoting yourself in banners or signage or anything else that matter, I'd be more than happy to talk to you a little bit further about it. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Rick. Mary.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I am from Ideal Safety Communication, and we are bilingual, and we help companies with OSHA workplace safety, as people are trying to get back to work now. So we're working with clients, get them ready for the work environment, the new work environment. Mary Sennett from Ideal Safety Communication.
Thanks, Mary. Sean.
Good afternoon, Sean Johnson with Legal Shield, and I want to extend my best wishes to everyone. Hopefully you're safe, healthy, and your families are as well. It's really important during this time. And we're gonna have some more materials coming out to help small business owners and individuals through this crisis. And in fact, I also have some information on what the government has done through the CARES Act. So I will put that on the website. But anybody who's looking for additional income or to replace their income that they've lost, or that if they've been laid off from their job due to this crisis, we'd like to talk to them. So if you know anybody out there looking, please send them my way. Thank you, Sean Johnson, Legal Shield.
Great, thanks, Sean. Phil.
Hello.
Hello.
How is everyone today?
So we don't get to see your face, Phil?
Oh, I'll try to take it out of my pocket, I guess.
Oh, you're on a phone, never mind.
Okay.
We're good.
So I'm an attorney, financial advisor, have some other things that I help people with, basically trying to get everybody through this. The last few weeks has been pretty chaotic. Ever since the Family First Coronavirus Response Act and all the responsibilities that are being put on to individual business owners who are normally free of the FMLA, it's a Family Medical Leave Act, are now under that and have a lot of responsibilities there, to all the CARES opportunities available for everybody. But what we're trying to do is get everybody through this situation, help keep businesses alive and thriving through creating some planning now, and actually, I hate to say reacting to things, but hopefully people had plans in the time beforehand, so you knew what to do, when to do it. On the financial side, you know, there's a lot of people who got out of the markets. The next question is when do you get back in? We're starting to see signals on things on some of my platforms. I'm sure Chris will go into this a little more too, just about what to go into and when to go into everything coming as it comes back. Don't give up hope. And we're just trying to get through everything during whatever planning is necessary. If you have any questions about any of these things, I know we're going to go over the CARES Act a little more, but if you're at the Family First Act, just let me know. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Hi, Tony.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tony Walker. I am a coach and consultant, business analyst consultant. My main focus is helping people to communicate better, have better communication, better connections. So currently I'm working with my clients to, with the virtual, everyone going virtual and working from home, how to better manage their teams, managers to better manage their teams, and better communication in order to still maximize their effectiveness in their job roles. So right now I am pivoting to doing more online courses instead of, since really face-to-face is just not an option. So it's something I've always wanted to do, and this is a perfect time to do it. And the word that has come to mind for this whole situation is this is a reset. It's an opportunity for all of us to reset on our purpose and helping where our focus really should be. So I'm loving seeing more people reaching out and connecting like never before. So that's my story.
Great. Thanks, Tony. Thanks for joining us. Okay, Virginia. Your
Hello,
turn.
I'm Virginia Weiskopf of Weiskopf Consulting, all things technical and social. I've been doing a lot of training on Zoom and different platforms for my clients. I don't know why I am not, hold on, not showing my picture, but that's okay. Do you guys see me instead of Anna?
We see you. Yeah, we see you.
Sorry. I just have, I guess, the host view. So a couple things people have said I want to comment on before we go on. Bill talked about all the things for nonprofits. Bill, I'm wondering if you know they're doing a special Giving Tuesday in May to help all the nonprofits. I will send you that link if you don't know, so you can share it with their nonprofits. But they're just like Giving Tuesday in December. You know, after Thanksgiving, they're doing one in May and promoting it. I was interested in what Doug said about the cyber insurance, and I would love to hear more about that. If we can talk later. And my bank sent me an email that asked me, because I was one of their small businesses, if I wanted to apply for the PPP. They had me fill out a one-page form. They called me, walked me through what they needed, and submitted it. And I'm supposed to get, my funding is set aside for me, and I'm supposed to get final notice tomorrow. So that was very cool that my bank took that step forward, because all I keep reading is up the nightmares people are having. And for me, it's been exactly the opposite piece for that, which I'm very thankful for. Don't know the answer yet, but I'm just waiting for the final thing. But I have taken the opportunity in Reset to help anyone I can online. I've been doing webinars for a lot of nonprofits, helping them get online, answering individual questions, talking about how you can make yourself relevant in the digital space. Tomorrow, I'm doing a Lombard Chamber of Commerce webinar on communicating in the digital world. And I'm going to talk about how all of these things that people have been ignoring because they're too busy running their business. And ignoring might be a strong word, but we have so many hats, we can't do it all. So now that those people who have been doing it are ahead of the curve, are in the space, are taking care of it, what do you need to do to make your change? I read the article about Lori Lightfoot's campaign, her meme campaign. I don't think anyone hasn't seen the memes about her telling people to stay home and how he came up with that. And that was a brilliant campaign for them. And you see it everywhere. People are copying it and putting her picture in their photos, and it's become kind of a genre. So you need to decide to be out there, be helpful and relevant to your clients, and do it in a digital space. I'm here for any questions afterwards. Sorry, kind of long. Sorry, Anna.
Yeah, it was a long minute, but that's okay. Good information. And I'm Anna Westlack. My company's Westlack and Associates. We do interpersonal relations, communications training, and seminars and professional development formats. And right now we are also doing a lot of things virtually, doing lots of one-on-one opportunities to help people to review their personalized reports. And interestingly enough, I've talked to more of my colleagues than I have my clients who are also looking to expand the work that they're doing with additional tools and opportunities. So with that, that's the direction we're going. We do have a free assessment right now that we're offering to our clients and contacts, and it's called Working from Home. So if you'd like some tips for working from home, just let me know. I'd be happy to send you the link for a brief survey and an opportunity to get some ideas of how we can be more effective in doing that. So did I miss anybody?
No, you got everyone on the list.
Okay, I thought I
Except
did.
Amanda, who for some reason has left the room and can't get back in. And I think it has to be on her end in terms of her internet.
Okay, well, we'll watch. If anybody else joins us, we'll introduce them at the end. So just a reminder, if you have not gone to the chat room to type in your information, that's your virtual business card today. So go down and open up the chat button at the bottom of your screen if you haven't already done that. And in the message area at the bottom, just type in your contact information. So, okay, I think we're ready to hear all the good things that Chris has to share with us.
There you are.
Well, hopefully this will be all good stuff. I'm going to try to post a PDF into the chat room. Let's see if that works. I don't think I can. So I have a PDF of most of this information that Forum Financial put out about maybe 10 days ago or so. I'll try to email that to everybody. And certainly, as we all know, this has been, quite a challenging time for everyone, no matter what business you're in, no matter what situation you're in, everybody's affected by this. And when you look at it, even the, even the celebrities, people who, we think are kind of, the privileged have been affected by this worldwide. So the government stepped in a few weeks back and put out the CARE Act. But before I get started, it's interesting, you're working from home now. Most of us are, there's still some people, some of my clients are still in necessary businesses, in nursing or things like that. And, but it's kind of funny is that when you're, this is probably the only time we're going to be able to have your dog or get interrupted by your child and no one really cares when you're working. Secondly, it's great to be able to say to some person, please stay away from me. I don't want you to come any closer, and you're not really being nasty about it, but it's kind of funny that we can say those things. Whereas before that would have been, kind of considered taboo to do that. So I've got this, I'll try to email this to everybody. I think I have everybody's email. I'll send this out. And one of the things that I wanted to, I'll start with, it got probably about 10 or 11 topics I wanted to go through on this. The CARE Act is quite complicated, as you know. Whenever they put out one of these types of bills, there's just all sorts of stuff in them that makes absolutely no sense, as we all know that. And it's kind of funny when you look at this and you wonder where they came up with this, some of the things and the numbers and who's going to benefit and what's happening here or there. We have no idea, but there's some really good things in there. So the first thing is that obviously the tax has been, deadline has been extended to July 15th. So you still have time beyond, April, which is April 15th tomorrow, to make your IRA, or if you've got a SEP contribution or a Roth IRA contribution, or even making your 2019 contribution to the health savings account. So you will have that extended all the way out to July. So that's going to give people an extra couple months to figure out, do I really want to fund the IRA this year or the SEP if you're a self-employed individual. The next thing that came out was for those of you that have to have required minimum distributions from IRAs. So that would be whether you've reached now 72 or someone in your family has, or you have an inherited IRA. Typically you had to take that required minimum distribution before the end of 2020. That's been suspended. So what I'm going to be doing with my clients is finding, do we still need to take these? Because some of my clients that are over 72 are living on that IRA money, so that's not going to really matter to them. But some other people who are in a higher tax bracket, it could matter, or just leaving that money in for another year and letting it accumulate will help individuals. And that's for every kind of IRA. It doesn't really matter what qualified money that's out there, 401k plans, 403bs, everything that we have out there. The next piece is this, the small business forgivable payroll loan. I'm not going to go into much detail on that because It's kind of complicated, I would say, as Virginia said, you know, go to your bank. I have heard stories where some of the larger banks are trying to limit or even not give money to some of the clients who have contacted them. They're trying to reserve that for their clients who have, you know, significant loans out because they don't want them to go bankrupt. And now you've got this whole situation developing. So I don't really want to go into a lot of detail on that, but it is something that could benefit you if you're in that situation of being trying to keep, you know, employees on the payroll and keeping your you know, your business together. The next thing is the recovery rebate, that $1,200 recovery rebate. Of course, there's an income limit, and depends upon your either 2018 or 2019 adjusted gross income, which would be before all your deductions. So typically it's going to be a higher amount if you're deducting, you know, business costs or things like that, or IRAs, or you're still deducting your property taxes, things like that, or even the $12,000 individual deductions. But the most important thing on that is the checks have now started to show up in people's checking accounts if you've linked it. So one of the things you have to remember if you're going to qualify for this is that I believe on the 17th of the month, the IRS is going to have a new link up on their website where you can find out where your stimulus check is. Now, if you haven't linked a checking account to it, you may have to wait till like August or September to get that check in the mail. So what they're doing first is processing this based upon your income. So the lowest income level up to the highest that qualify for this. And secondly, it's going to be whether you have a linked checking account or not. So you can go on that website and put your checking account information in if you know you haven't filed electronically and you've done everything through a check because you don't want the IRS to get your checking account, whatever the situation is. But you can do that now if you want to speed up that process. Just an FYI on that. Then there was the increased unemployment benefits. You know, obviously a lot of people were just, their businesses stopped. So you didn't have the situation where people were fired or, you know, a company had to do layoffs. This was just basically a mass layoff. So there are benefits there. If you, again, you can probably qualify for that. It would, you know, check with the state. I think some people have had some problems, you know, just because everything's overloaded. The whole system is overloaded as we go through this. The next piece is there's a penalty-free access now to retirement accounts. So this is a really important one, is that if you are under the age of 59 and you want to take money out of your IRA or 401k plan, SEP, et cetera, there was a 10% penalty. So now that's been waived for this year. And you can actually you know, defer the taxes over the next couple of years if you decide to take money out of the plan. They've also, and so let me kind of go over this because this is really important. As you hear my dog scratching in the background, if you're going to take money from an IRA, I think it should be one of the last, or 401k plan, pulling money out of those. I would certainly, you know, make it one of the last ditch efforts because that money is going to be taxed as ordinary income and then it's going to be spent. And so you're essentially taking your retirement funding and you're going to be spending that to keep yourself going. So look for other ways before you do that. Certainly if you have to take money out to keep yourself, you know, going, that's fine. They've also increased the amount of loans that you can take on an employer-sponsored like 401k plan, 403bs, et cetera, up to 100,000. It was at 50,000. So now that loan level, which is going to be $100,000, you're obviously going to be paying that back over a period of years, but that could give you some liquidity in a situation like this to get yourself, again, through the short-term situation that we have. The next thing was that they suspended the student loans payments through September 30th of this year. That's really good for some people who may not have, you know, won't have to make their loan payments. But you have, if you know somebody like this that wants to do this, or yourself, you have to initiate this. They're not just going to stop the payment. You have to actually contact your lender. It is only on federal loans. So if you had some private loans, you have to contact that lender to find out what they're doing. So there's a little bit of a nuance with that. For those of you that are charitably minded, you were limited to 60% of your adjusted gross income as far as a deduction You still could give more than that. It just wouldn't come off your taxes. They've now they're now going to raise that to 100% of your adjusted gross income that you can actually deduct in a charitable situation. So for those of you that are in a situation where you can give to charities, that's a good news for that. The next part is the employee retention tax credit that's out there. Again, these are kind of complicated situations. I would say that if you are someone that has employees and you're looking to retain, or you have a client who has employees and you want to give them some information, certainly I think it'd be best to work with like a CPA or an enrolled agent, someone that understands that a little bit better. It's kind of a complicated situation again on that. The next thing is that for businesses, if you are not receiving a forgivable payroll loan, so that was the one where you're going to be out there getting this loan to keep your payroll going, then you can actually delay the tax payments on the Social Security part of what you're paying for your employees. So if you have a number of employees and you had to make that payment for their Social Security and Medicare, et cetera, that can be delayed now. And so that's good news for some people, just to make sure that they've got a little bit more cash flow going on with that situation. And then the last thing is that, which is kind of not related to the CARE Act, but was one of the other things that came out there, is a lot of the mortgage companies now have been contacting individuals saying that you can stop making payments for 3 months or so, and tack that on the interest on the back end. Again, that's one of those ones where I would be very careful using, because in a lot of cases, the banks haven't really been clear as to what's going to happen when you have to start making payments again. Or if you can't make payments in 3 months, what's going to happen? So there is really a little bit of misinformation out there. I took a look, I've got Wells Fargo on a mortgage, and I took a look at their program. It was very unclear as what would happen in the 3 months after, that we would, if I wanted to do that, what would happen. So going back to the 08, 09, and then you had these loans that were kind of reconfigured with different interest rates and things like that, and different structure payments that came out of that in say 2012, 2013 or so. There was a lot of misinformation about those. There was individuals didn't really understand what they had, if they had done a loan modification back then. I know there's now a number of class action lawsuits against the banks. That's a real big surprise, obviously, but that they got kind of caught in situations where they really weren't telling people exactly what was going to happen. So they say that they're not going to ding your credit rating for the first 3 months, but beyond that point, you could get yourself into some real trouble. Again, we don't know what's going to happen on the back end. Are they going to force you to modify that loan? Maybe it's going to be a higher interest rate. We don't know. So the best thing to do is again, that's one of those ones that if you have to do it, obviously you want to do it, or someone that has to do it, it's okay if those are the kind of last ditch efforts. So those are kind of probably about the 10 or 11 different highlights of the act. Again, it's complicated. Some of them is pretty simple with the deadlines and being able to put things off. I think probably the biggest benefit is going to hopefully be to some of the businesses, but again, there's a lot of competition for that money on having these forgivable loans out there. So if you do need that, certainly try to go out and do get that going for yourself. And so the last thing I want to talk a little bit about is kind of our approach over at Forum with the whole investments in our portfolios and how we manage things. Is that one of the things that we've been doing with client portfolios, which is kind of counterintuitive, is when the stocks went down, and I think the S&P was maybe down about 35% of this low, we were actually selling bonds at that point and buying into the stock allocations. So what that does is it lowers kind of the bogey, if you want to call it, of where you need to get back to when this all recovers. So we're looking at reducing the amount of time to get a recovery going. So when we do have an up market going, you'll be back to kind of square one. So most of my clients right now, we're down close to 20% or so on their portfolios, and we're now back to maybe we're down only about 8. So the S&P 500's come back, and it's down about 12 or 13, I think, off of its high points, maybe a little bit more than that off of its all-time high in February. So that part of it is very important for a long-term portfolio, and just some of the things that we've kind of added value to the client, and making sure that we're doing what we can, you know, and then the clients know that we're kind of keeping up with this and making sure that we're taking care of them, you know, in this particular time. So what I'll do is, I think what I want to do now is, Virginia, if we can just maybe open it up for a discussion, because, you know, some of you may have some other information, things. I just wanted to give a high level overview of all this, but personal experiences like you shared with us, Virginia, about what's going on with you. You had a good experience. Some of you may have had clients with bad experiences, things like that. Maybe we can just have, you know, for the next 10 minutes or so, just kind of share what each
Hang
one
on
of
while
us
I
have
unmute
experienced with
everyone.
us.
Well, we can do the raise hand too, so that we don't have everybody on at one time. So if people want to raise their hand to ask a question or make a comment, that might make it a little easier to control.
Okay.
Who goes next?
Bill is asking, hang on.
Okay.
For some reason, it is not letting me. Oh, here we go. Okay, Bill, you are unmuted.
Chris, you mentioned the strategy about the bonds, but if you had clients that had cash, are you starting to put them into the market yet?
Good question. Yeah, I had, so my situation was a little bit different. I think I had one client who left out of 100, and I've got 120 or so clients, maybe 130 clients. So very little actually just took the money out and ran and put it under, I don't know where they put it, but they moved it somewhere. I had probably another handful that we repositioned things. And then I had some clients who we had cash and were making contributions to some 401 to some like defined benefit plans, those types of things that they didn't really want to go in at that point. They had to fund them. So what we did was we came up of a plan to actually just dollar cost average that back into the market over the next 3 months, 6 months, whatever the time frame is. But not really a lot of my clients didn't really go to cash. So I try to make sure that everybody knows that, you know, when the clients know that this is going to come back. Again, it was all about, do you have enough cash flow to get you through this? Okay. And, or do you think you're going to lose your job? Do we need to pull something out? That was really most of the conversations back then to get you through this, because we know it's all going to come back eventually. And it may be 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but it will come back at some point in time. So I didn't really have a lot of clients who went to cash. We're not market timers. If someone comes out, we actually have to have someone, they want to leave the money with us and they put it in the money market, they have to sign off that we're not responsible for telling them when to go back in, because we don't want that. We just don't know. Nobody knows. All we know is that if you're a long-term investor and you stick it out and you do this rebalancing and you're adding money in, you know, consistently saving for your retirement, you're gonna do well in any environment. But good question.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for Chris? Really great overview.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to, I can't seem to put this PDF into the.
No, because one of the security settings, Chris, was that not to share files.
Okay.
And I did enact that, so I apologize. What you want to do is we can save it as a JPEG.
Okay.
And we can post it on the Facebook page. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll try to email everybody again with this information.
Okay.
Here.
It's just one of those things, you never know who's going to put something up there that you don't want to download.
Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a way to save the chat too. So
Yes,
everybody's email addresses.
Each of you can save the chat yourself, so you can have everything. Go to the very bottom and click the 3 buttons to the right and say Save Chat. I also put the link in there to my upcoming webinars on Zoom and on digitally communicating. And if you go to that page, you'll see them.
And I saved the chat from last week too, so I have a little running record of people that have been on. So if anybody wants that, I have it. Bill, I think I saw your hand.
Just one more question. Do you, and I know you're not a timer, but do you imagine when at some point with prices still being low that there could be a lot of M&A activity in the public market?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, if you look at, I think from viability standpoint, you may see a lot of consolidation in certain industries. Maybe in the oil industry, I think you're probably going to see a lot of consolidation and bankruptcies because oil prices have gone so low and probably going to stay low for quite a while. So there may be some mergers there, certainly in the also in the like retailing, retail in those types of situations. You know, there's a lot of companies out there, big companies have a lot of cash that they stored up. So it could be interesting to see where this all goes in the next, 6 months to a year, who's going to align with who in what industry and who's going to survive. I think a lot of retailers will end up not surviving. Some of the big boxes, big stores are going to have a lot of problems. The ones that have been, kind of teetering on that. And you may even see some larger corporations out there to have to merge with others to survive. It's all going to depend upon how long it goes on and what business you're in and how you're affected. I have a client who's in the his business is 100% doing displays for conventions. So he's got 25 employees all the way on up to who knows some of these larger companies that are out there that are in that business. What's going to end up happening to them in the long run? So that's an interesting question. But yeah, I think so.
Thanks, Chris. I see Rick has no mic. Did you have a question or comment, Rick?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, how about Phil?
I have loan comments, I guess. I've had a few clients go through summer funded, at least with the EIDL aspect of it. The numbers are coming back a little. Everybody was expecting $10,000, but I tried to warn them it was up to 10,000. And people are coming in like 7, 8. Seeing people coming in with only $1,000 or $2,000 is what they've got on, at least on the advance there. But I do know funding. I know some banks were funding within 4 days. But with the respect to them, all of them are putting preference, unless you're going to certain ones, on their depositors. They're hitting their own clients first. I don't blame them. But if you don't have a relationship with the bank, you're going to have a harder time unless you hit one of these banks with the other opportunities. Another thing that I've seen I know one company that's literally offering free online ordering to restaurants for their whole service. Not like the credit card processing or any of that part, but just the portal. They'll build it free, no charge. It can be canceled at the end of 90 days. And they're also offering HR and payroll. They're waiving a bunch of fees on that. So people are trying to help all over the place, because it is rough for everybody. The people who are trying to keep their payroll on, they have limited people working. So people are trying to work. Like Chris said, on this whole investing thing, you got to have a strong stomach a little bit, but it'll work its way back. Question is when, we don't know, but things are starting to level out at least a little bit with some of the numbers. I think some more people are starting to come back. I know I have a lot of essential employees in manufacturing. They're actually picking up. So there are some good signs out there.
That's encouraging. Thanks. Okay, anybody else? Question or comment on Chris's presentation? Okay.
It was great. It was great.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll get that PDF out to everybody, probably either today or tomorrow morning.
Chris, I have a question.
Yeah.
I thought I had seen, and I was reading the whole, whatever it was, 150 pages pretty quickly. Is there a repayment provision for if you take your money out, you can repay it over 3 years?
Out of what? I take your money out of what?
Out of a retirement plan, sorry.
Well, yeah, like, oh, so if you take the loan against the 401k plan or a 403b, then you're going to pay that over like a scheduled payment.
Not a
Let me go back.
loan for
Yeah.
not a loan for a participant for like that you're there that you're taking from your employer. That you can always take. But I
Yeah.
thought I saw something where they were somehow going to work if you took it like even out of your IRA, that if you got the money back in within 3 years, I don't know if you
No.
had tax credits or anything
Yeah,
like that.
no,
or,
yeah. Once you take it out, you're going to get the penalties waived. And just looking at what we have written here, the penalties waived if you're under 59 and a half. Of course, if you're over, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to matter to anybody. The penalty, you can take it up to $100,000 out, but that money is gone. I mean, that you can't put it back in.
okay, I must have seen something.
But you can
on an
defer the
earlier
taxes.
version.
Yeah, you can defer taxes over the next 3 years. So 20, 21, and 22. That's where your 3 years probably came in that you thought.
Okay,
You can
sounds
defer
good.
that. Yeah, but again, that's kind of a last ditch because, you know,
Absolutely.
you can't put it back in, and then you're just putting your retirement into jeopardy. But you know, in 08, 09, we had clients that had to do stuff like that, and they drained them. You know, and what are you going to do? You have to pay. You know, you got to put food on the table. So it's not a great way to do it, but yet some people have to do it.
Okay. All right. So again, thank you, Chris. I
You're
don't see
welcome.
any more hands, but of course, we know how to find Chris if we have questions when we're down here today. So thanks. And we'll be looking forward to your document. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll open up all the mics now. Virginia, anybody who has any announcements, any final words, any upcoming things, any thank yous, whatever.
You can all unmute yourself if you want to talk.
I've got an announcement.
Okay, Dan?
Yeah, because we're really in the tough times right now and business owners are struggling, anyone that's connected with BRN can send me an email with a one-page synopsis of what they do, services that they can perform, special things that you're doing during this particular time. I will email that one paragraph thing out to all of my contacts and clients, which is over 250. And hopefully we can generate some business within ourselves.
That's
Thank
awesome,
you.
Dan. Thanks.
No, that I just want to say thank you, Dan.
Sure.
That's all I want to say.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
amazing.
I also have an extensive email list. So if anybody has anything that they would like, you know, posted or a PDF on anything that you found for business owners or whatever, doesn't really matter, just to help people out, you know, get that to me. And I have a question for Doug. I didn't see an email from you. I just saw your name, but I didn't see an email or phone number. Can you post that for everybody? Oh, there it is. Never mind. Okay. I need your email address.
Chris, I can get that to you because I can download the list for, oh, we didn't do registration. Never mind.
I don't know.
We do it on everything else. So.
Is he still?
And I don't see him online anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if anybody has his email, let me know because I think I have everybody else's email. Rick, I pulled yours off of your sign in the back, so that sign worked.
Oh, great. Thank you.
That was excellent, Rex. I like that.
Chris, I have Doug's email. I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Actually, I'll put it in this chat thing. Is that okay?
Yeah. I'll just save the chat. I'll save the chat again. Yep. Before we go. So don't cut off yet, Virginia, until we get everybody's
I
info
will
in there.
not do that to you, Chris. Won't leave you hanging. And I put the link to my education page in the chat. So if any of you are interested in any of the Zoom or the other webinars that are coming up that are all free, you can check them out.
And Virginia, I behaved because
You
Virginia
did.
threatened to cut me off if I didn't behave. So.
I have to threaten someone.
I'm not sure who to direct this to, but I had a version of the speaker list that had me on for the April 28th. Does anyone know if that's still accurate?
So I don't know what we're doing at this point. I think wasn't the decision that once we finally open up, we'll start over where we left off? Anna?
Steve was handling that, and I think that's what he said we would do.
That's
So
what I vaguely remember, yeah.
how about if we double check with Steve, and if you are on for the 28th and are okay with doing it virtually, we'll pick up where we
I
were.
think we have someone who was scheduled for today that we would want to pick up with him.
Rob
No, it was
Wall.
me, and it was all about Zoom, but it doesn't need, I'm doing all these webinars. Anyone who wants to learn about it, there's basic and advanced. I don't need to be.
Rob Wald was scheduled too today to be a presenter.
It looks like we'll have to look into that and figure it out.
Yeah, we'll check with Steve and see where we are. So we'll keep you in mind, Bill. Let's see where things are, okay?
So for our next meeting, what I'm gonna do is I will make it by registration. When they sign into registration, an email will send them to each person, and then they'll have the link right there with the password.
That would be excellent.
It seemed to be very cumbersome for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do.
Yeah, that two-step process got tricky. Okay, so our next meeting will be on April 28th at noon.
Yep.
What? April 28th.
So bring your lunch or whatever. And we'll let you know who the speaker will be when we post the meeting. Well, give us time to check with Steve, and for Steve to check with the speaker. And I see Andy posted Doug's email address, so that should help you out, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. I got that. And I saved it. I saved the chat too. So perfect.
Okay,
Thanks.
good. Okay, anybody else before we close?
Chris, I want to say thank you for all your information. I was taking notes, even though you couldn't tell, but it was very informative for me.
Oh, you're
and I
welcome.
want to thank you for the, I appreciate you, and thank you all for.
Yeah, they're tough. These are tough times for everybody, and we're all. Yeah, I've got.
Yeah.
One, I was just kind of one last story here. As I talked to one of my clients, who's actually she's the property power of attorney. She's a head of a rehab center. Nurse in a nursing home, so she's got her mask on when she's talking to me on the phone, and just had somebody in her facility die from it. She's out on Long Island, which got hit really badly on this. So we all have stories of friends or people that we're all going through something on this, but it's great to see everybody. And everybody's healthy, so that's good.
I had a great week. I got a check for $85.
Woo-hoo!
Right.
I'm trying not to spend it all in one place.
Okay, you got to check.
How do you get one? I want one.
Positive cash flow.
Yeah, fortunately,
Invest
it's
it.
something build a long time. Yeah, I will. Get interest on it.
I've noticed that banks too, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's a limit to how much you can deposit by your phone, because I do all my deposits by phone. And they've increased the limit during this time.
Well, that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
You can't get
That's
into
a
the
good
bank.
thing. The lines in the drive up are long. Okay, well, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay home.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
And
Thank you,
we'll
guys.
just
You're welcome. Yep.
spend 2 weeks.
Take care, everybody.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you,
have a good
Virginia.
day.
Thanks
Okay,
very much.
bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to all. Thank you.
Chris, you're good with this chat that got saved?
Yeah, I'm all set. Thank you. I saved it.
Okay, great. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.